Okay, so now we're on Vedder. See how cool his mane looks? He kept sticking his head out the panel gate to eat. And of course, rubbed half his mane off. So his mommy roached his mane. So it looks pretty cool. So, I don't know if he's been here before. Gary will tell us. But we're going out alone. This horse has a beautiful neck. Good boy. I think something just scared him. Well, let's see how shape this is in. You know what? Some of that growth looks rotted. And this is why you teach your horse to back up. Ever back up off a bridge on purpose? So, I haven't been here in a while. Let's go underneath and look at that wood. Turn on the haunches. But some of that wood on top looked a little rotted to me, so we're gonna go look underneath it. All right. Good boy. Hi. Okay, so now we're looking at the footing. I think we should go over here, not right in between those two rocks. Good job, buddy. Okay. That's an owl tree. Pretty darn cool looking if you can see it. Okay. But I want to go under here to see how bad that is. It's a little rotted. There's some cracks in the wood, but hopefully I don't look too bad. I think I'm gonna have to. You never want to hurt your horse, so I'd rather come back and walk and really look under that bridge and make sure it's safe before I go on it, because some of it, look, if the wood doesn't look so good, it's supported underneath, but you never know. He's like, you're not steering me, and I'm not paying attention. I guess it's double layers, but still, you never know, right? Rather just go through the water. Okay, so now we're on the other side of New York Bridge. Those of you who've been to the Monte Vista Trailhead probably know what I'm talking about. I did make this a little wider, so we'll see. The other side's still pretty much single track, so if you got bikes, there's grooms, and if they're polite, if the bikes are polite, you're fine. But you still got to pay attention because it's really twisty and turvy, and it's more grown in than this side is. And that's where I was riding with the other horse. Sometimes he does that little stride, which he probably learned to do before, which I do not like walking horses to do. They have such a beautiful gait that I don't want to settle for anything but that gait, right? Their flat walk and their running walk is just nice. So that little short strided step that some of you get, or you know, when people go pucka pucka pucka, you know, that's better for the Rockies. That's their gait, and you know, some Kentucky mountains and some other horses. But I don't know, I like the walking horse's gait so much. When I'm on one, I don't want to do that with that big gliding gait. So most of it on this side has been pretty wide. Now it's starting to get more narrow. And we'll see if it goes back to the way it used to be. You still got plenty of room if you're passing bikes on this. We'll just see that in the other area if we do. So you see, now it's a single track to drop off. So this is much harder for both a biker and a horseback rider. So if they come slow, it's okay, but if they came flying, it could be a major issue. So let's hope anybody comes slow, or, you know, we see them before they can fly in some way. But there's just, if you're trying to get out of each other's way, there's just nowhere to go. So horses, I should just make this in a bike video. Horses, we can jump up things to get away from bikers and people, and it's much better if we're higher than the biker. If we're below you and then, you know, you lose your balance or something like that, the horse's instinct tell it it's not a bike anymore, it's a mountain lion, it's coming to get you. So the horses try to jump, and they jump away, and they will jump off a cliff. So I know that sounds crazy, but they will. They'll take that chance to survive when their instincts kick in. So, you know, the horseback riders, if possible, should go up. The bikers should go down below them. If it's the opposite, you got to be really, really careful. So, but, you know, like, their predators usually jump from above. So even though they know you're a bike, when you jump, instinct kicks in, and it's kind of like, you know somebody's in the closet, you know they're going to jump out, but when they jump out, you still scream or you still jump. So it's the same kind of thing. So if we're going to share the trails, the more we know about each other, the better. I always try and get out of the biker's way if at all possible, you know, because this is kind of like four-wheel drive, and sometimes it's hard for the biker. It's a little scary. So they should fix that. They should fix that first. So, what was I going to say? So when there's blind turns, I know everybody wants to go fast because it's fun. The same thing with the horseback riders. Go slow because it's blind turn. That's when a bike will pop out, or a horseback rider could pop out. So either one. So blind turns, steep declines, you know, if you can't see, don't go flying. If you can see, then it's different. So now look, so we got a tree in the way, and we have to see, do we think we can fit underneath it? He's like, yeah, I think we can. But it was close, you know? And there's the lake. But again, we got to drop off, so we got to be careful. When you have races and lots of people on this trail, you know, we shouldn't have horses. We should have signs that say, you know, event today, no horseback riders. Because, of course, the horses make it dangerous for the rider and the other people on the trail if it's something crazy. So, you know, if you see this, if you had a race going on, where are the people going to go? Are they going to go up above us, and that might scare the horse? If they go down below us, they might lose their balance. Okay, so even this coming up over this hill, you know, I try to be as ready as I can, because I have been on horses when things came up this trail before and they spawned, you know. So we try to be as ready, and we try to prepare our horses as much as we can, but they're not mechanical. They do have brains. And sometimes their brain tells them, you know, run from that thing. So, but that's the hard part. And horses, you know, plow these trails. That's what people forget, is horses came before bikes. They're naturally here. They should always naturally be here. Okay, so try to educate, try to get everybody to get along, be careful for each other. So of course I didn't have the camera on, so I encountered a runner who was very nice, and I got my horse out of his way so he could stay on the trail, and then two bikes. And the one bike, I tried to get out of his way, but he said no, he would get out of the way, and he stopped and got off his bike, and he was very pleasant and nice, and then he rode off. And then the next biker came up behind me and yelled out, so I knew he was there, which was great. And then he, oops, hit those trees better. I got out of his way because it was easy for me just to jump up on that hill there and make room for him and just let him go by. And he was very pleasant and nice too. So we know we have incidents with some bikers, and it's not all the bikers, but there's no reason everybody can't just help each other. So I'm with my horse, and it's a good test for them. I always like to try to get out of the way if at all possible. If there's somewhere I can move to, I will get out of their way so they can keep going. But if they isn't, then I really appreciate when the bikers stop and get out of our way and help us too. Okay? That's a weird noise, right? I don't know what that bird is. Okay, now we got a wood chipper. They don't see me. So there's a ditch down there, so I really don't want to cut over it. So we're going to have to go by it. And maybe they'll slow down or stop if we're lucky. It's not a wood chipper, it's a splitter. Okay. I'm ready because I got my right leg on him. He's scared, that's normal. Right? Like, why would we go by a wood chipper? Good boy. We'll figure out another way back. But he did very good. I knew that thing was going to happen right as we go by because that's what always happens. Okay, I don't see anybody coming, so we're going to try and go a little faster. Kind of fell out of his canter. He's like, you should look at that nice house because I'm tired, lady. Okay. See, you can see the whole lake. It's gorgeous, right? But it's not the... Seems like an easy trail because it's not real steep or anything, but there you do got to pay attention. The horses and used to boats. Dogs sometimes come out barking, and skinny trails, drop-offs, things like that. So I'm going by the guy who was slicing the wood. He's farther away, but right as I go by, he starts a chainsaw. And that's what I'm thankful. I have horses with brains like him. He jumped a little bit, but he didn't bolt or take off or anything bad. Right? A good mind is worth $1 million. People get so hung up on vet checks with stuff. But I take a good mind with a so-so vet check over a clean vet check and not such a good mind. Okay? Because you can't compare safety to a test or even just testing the horse. Riding it for hours and hours and seeing how it does means more to me than, the poor vet who has to evaluate the horse as best as he can in one day, and they try to point out everything that could possibly be wrong, because of course they don't want you to come back and sue them or say they didn't pick something up, because that's what people do. So they poke and prod and pick them apart, and then people get real worried. So just know, good mind's worth millions of dollars to keep you safe. Most people don't ride as hard as they think they're gonna ride. So a deer just jumped and it's kind of scared him, and he shortened up his gait and he just started racking. So of course I just went with it because it was fun. Now see that? He's pretty darn smooth. But this is more like a Rocky or a saddle horse. That's shorter gait. Okay. I'll show you this. There's a pipe sticking out up here. Good boy. So I guess they'll cut into the hillside to make this wider. It should be awesome. That was Big Turkey, landed in the tree. It's alright. Vedder's like, why is everything jumping at me on the way home? But again, he just jumped, and he's a horse. He's not dead. Yeah, that was fine. Good boy. But see, now it's nice and open, so if I saw a bike, I'd get over on my right and give him lots of room and give my horse lots of room. And you watch your horse's ears because they'll tell you when something's coming. So he just saw a hiker up here. Hi. Oh, you're actually fine. I'll just kind of go over here, but thanks for asking. Sure. Yeah, I got 4-wheel drive here. See, that was very nice. But the difference between country folk and city folk, the country people might have horses, or grandma has a horse, so they know they can be jumpy, and the city folk don't, which is in like the Bay Area. So, you know, you try to explain to those people, but some of them don't just care. That's the sad part. So, he's doing great. We got speedboats. And that phases this guy. It's more, you know, something jumps out he can't see, and he gets a little goofy, but then he calms right back down. Some of you guys don't understand that about horses. Some get jumpy, you know, something scares them, and then they're amped up for the entire ride. Could be hours. And other ones, you scare them, and then they calm back down, like this one. Those are the good ones. Those are the ones that are going to cost more, but they're worth it in the end. Right, Vedder? Damn straight. Sounds like a rocket. Oh, it's a jet ski. So I came down by the lake. This might spook a random person. Good boy. Never encountered people sleeping in the flowers until today. Good job. Oops. Guess we hit a hole. Looks like a big one. And off we go. Lower your hands just to how you did it. Good. He must be really tired. So again, if he's getting you too close to the